Is it live? Isn't it live? Who knows?
Are we going to shave his tash off? Are we not going to shave his tash off? What about the bum fluff off your chin?
Definitely not. This is growing. My subscribers would literally hang you.
Well, they didn't last time. They were all for it. That's the thing. Whose turn is it to get payback? I think it's mine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your turn. It is your turn.
Oh, you know I'm going to have to come up with some ideas. The chat, the comments have got to come up with some ideas for me.
Hold on. I don't think. Are we? Hi, everybody. I don't even know if we're actually live properly just yet. Please let us know down in those comments. You know how organised I am, which is not.
You know who that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Scott.
Hey!
Hey.
Do you know he's the one that gave you your salmon, your Goliath bird eating tarantula?
I think not.
Then what'd you say to him?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right, you going to go watch your tablet?
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. Give us a high five. Nicky's. Mwah! Very cool. Go on.
We've also got a new page for not Popcorn, Moosey. Moosey's right behind you. I think she's on the like branch with the
He's asleep, Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moosey's asleep. He's asleep on his branch. You can see him there by the light.
Her eyes are open.
Yeah, do you know what? Because we're talking and we're keeping her awake.
Right, let's say a few hellos. Down in the comments, just type if you can hear me all right, because I'm on a separate microphone to what I'm normally on. We've also done some things, so hopefully we don't lag anymore. Fingers crossed that don't happen. So
Let me know if you can hear me, and what's your name?
Jacob.
If you can hear him.
Hey.
Just went on chat when you were talking.
Oh, I'm just going to say a quick hello to everybody that's watching. That means I've got to shout out everybody's name that's in the comments. All right. Hi, Lexi. Hey, Spider Mom. If you're not subscribed to Spider Mom 1978, please do so. She's only 200 subs away from that magic 1K, and it would be
You've got some amazing knowledge.
Be awesome if she got that pretty soon. Hi, JJ. Hey, Annie.
Hi, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
Hi, Anton, Italian Anton. Hi, Andy. Hey, Bugs and Stuff. Hey, Simon. Hey, Russell. Hey, Kieran. Hey, Leah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Scott.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Diana. I think that's just about everybody. Right, so tonight is an open mic night. So if you have a form of video or whatever it is, if you've got a camera, if you want to come join us on screen, I'm going to be putting the link in the comments every now and again. And basically just whoever wants to come up and fire some questions, tell us about your hobby maybe, and all the rest of it would be absolutely awesome. Spider-Man says he's adorable. Leah says he's adorable.
He's awesome. The best way to do this chat, if you do come on, if you're going to use your phone, feel free to use your phone. I'm using my phone right now, so this is exactly what it is. You click on the link. You've got one thing there that says enter in broadcast, and you've got a name. You can stick whatever name you want. And if you look in the bottom of our screens, I think it's there, Princess Richard. Who gave me Princess Richard again? What is it, that side? Or is it that? I don't know. Type in your name. Enter broadcast. As soon as we can see you in the broadcast, to bring you straight on, you can ask loads of questions. You can tell us about your hobby. Do whatever you want.
So just stick it in. Shall I stick it in the comments and see who comes on?
Yeah, just stick it in the comments and see who pops up.
I know Ellie's already got the link because there's not a Tuesday she don't pop on.
But while we're here, and while Scott's busy doing that, I need some of your guys' help. What can I do with a 3-foot enclosure? Because I've got a 3-foot enclosure spare. Now, I don't really want another animal, but what can I do with it? Let us know in the comments down below. Yes, this is a live stream, Jacob. Everyone's watching it.
A 3-foot enclosure. Hey, Dave, you could put some air vents in it, seal it, and put a Theraposa in there.
I can also set it on fire.
That's green.
What's green? Yeah.
Why? It's good for life.
Get it old.
Yeah.
Start the phone.
Hello. I thought I'd come and
you
say
okay?
hello.
Hello.
You got toilet.
Hello.
Go on, little man.
Bugs and stuff says Balfour communal in there.
Who are we talking to?
Diana.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see you kept disappearing on me and Annabelle at the show.
Which
I was
show?
about to say you finally got hold of
Bedford.
it.
Oh,
One
Bedford,
minute
yeah.
we saw you, and then the next minute you're gone for the day.
Oh, no, I was there until an hour after closing.
Oh no,
Oh, there.
we wasn't because some hooligan wasn't feeling very well.
Oh, I know that feeling. Scott's the hooligan.
Is Annabelle there, Diana?
Yes, she is.
Hello.
What,
Come
Jacob?
over this side. She's coming.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
This is
Hey,
Annabelle.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You having a good week?
She wanted
What?
to come and say hello before bedtime. I said, I'm sure Scott will let you.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because she saw Richard's boy on, and she was like, oh. So I said,
Let
go
me
up
step on the
there
toilet.
real quick and say hello.
Tara's
Hi.
currently upstairs putting our Leo to bed.
Does he
Who?
want to come say
Tara?
hello to Annabelle before he goes, Richard?
He's already up there. He's already up there.
No, Richard's boy.
He's on the toilet.
Oh, okay.
He just shouted at me, Dad, I'm on the toilet. Okay.
Hey, Corey.
Fair enough. How's your big enclosure going, Richard?
There.
Did you hear that, Princess Richard?
That's my name now, isn't it? Everyone knows me as that now. You can say hi.
Well, we've
You
had
can
two
say hi.
sad bits
Never
of
know.
news today. Two of my one stick insect died, and
Oh.
one praying mantis I found.
I had a Payer's poultry, and mature male. Been trying to find somebody with a female for about 4 or 5 months. Found somebody and then found him dead. I was like, no,
No.
gutted. I have sent a very special mature male off to a good friend today. So fingers crossed.
Ooh. What are we hoping for?
Lots of babies.
Am I right? Here's one for you, Scott. When you find your egg sac, do you incubate or do you naturally incubate?
Hi, Greg. I've done both, and what I've found so far is leaving them with the mother seems to be a lot better and a lot more successful than what than an incubator for me, because the Psamopaeus Emernia egg sac I had in my incubator, which is a Lucky Reptile one.
Yeah.
And when we had that heat wave in the summer,
Hello.
it took that incubator right up into the 30s. And while I was at work, and of course I've come home and it's sitting on like 34 into the 26, and I couldn't pull it down, so it destroyed the whole of that egg sac.
And right, do us a favour, go to that incubator, turn it around. There's a little switch on the back.
For the
You
fan.
turn it one way and it just does either heating or cooling. You turn it the other way, it climate controls and keeps it. So it would have cooled it down. Granted, it doesn't cool very well because it cools quickly. So that sharp shock is still not good for your egg sacs.
No, it's basically I turned it off and I haven't. Hi Ben, I haven't touched it since. It's still up there. Do you know what I mean? I'm like still so furious with it.
Same as mine though. I've got mine, and I was breeding leopard geckos 2 years ago, and it's been in the living room thinking I'll use that one day, and I still haven't.
No,
Are you going to tell Richard about your 3 baby leopard geckos?
I have 3
Oh, you got some.
babies.
Wow, what have you named them?
Babies that we bred. So
What have you named them?
one, right, this is funny. The mum's named Chocolate. The dad's named Jaffa Cake. One of the babies is named Jaffa Cake Donut.
awesome.
And 2 haven't got a name yet.
Right, there you go. We've got a name: Lemon Cake and Scott.
We think they're all girls.
Scottetta.
That's just
Princess
assuming
Richard.
gender with the name Scott.
We'll have a Princess Richard one, gender neutral.
They all quite a character, though. The babies.
Oh,
Well, I'm
Now
hoping
they
that
have a
they're
right
all
attitude
girls.
problem, don't they?
Anton
I'm
says
hoping-
Sally.
I'm hoping that they're all girls. I'm still waiting until they're big enough to sex them.
But
Ooh.
anybody in the
What
comments?
temperature did you incubate them at?
I think it was 78.
So they could well be females then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. What are you going to do with the babies?
Well, hopefully, I'm gonna try and keep all the girls together if they're all girls.
Yeah. Large enough enclosure, loads of hides, and they'll be
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Yeah. So that's my plan. Because they're in the 3 foot at the minute, but I think I may upgrade it eventually to a 4 foot for them.
I had
No.
3 in a 4 foot, and I had tons of hides, tons of hiding places. The only thing I noticed was there was a dominant female that she bickered with the other females enough for them to. This dominant one would come and eat first, and then the others were allowed to come and eat. And the others were slightly underweight compared to what she was, and she was just bullying them away from food. So if you can, tongue feed each one of them so that they all get the same amount of food, and that just stops all that aggression.
I tricked all the babies the other day. I had a load of waxworm moths. I threw
Yeah.
them in, and they were funny watching them.
with the other tape.
Callus Versica actually loves those moths.
Yeah, I tricked them all. I gave them all moths because I had too many. So I just threw them all in. I thought the babies are going to have great fun trying to play with them. So,
Who's in the chat? Let's have a look who's in the chat.
Keith Bradshaw says, lucky reptile incubators. He's found a 5 to 8 degree variation on reading to the actual inner temperature. A few people have said that to me so far, so that doesn't surprise me. I think the mine's probably going to end up in the bin.
I've found it's because the thermostat probe that thermostatically controls that heat is near the heat source. It's not actually inside the container where the eggs actually are. So I just altered the temperature compared to the actual temperature that's inside the hide. So do you know the temperature reading on the top? I don't pay any attention to that. I get a little thermometer, stick it in the actual probe in the tub, and I go off that actual temperature that's inside the pot. And I found that to be much more successful.
Richard, did you hear about this story from Scott? The skull that was in his video from the Bedford show, he went back to buy it, and guess who bought it?
I want it.
She put it in with Jaffa Kate the gecko. When he was going to buy it, I think, and somebody had already said she wanted it.
Yeah, I was going to go back and get that one as well.
Did anyone go to Doncaster?
Ekos Chandros says homemade incubators are the best. He's got one. It's only got a 2 degree of variation. That's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad. If you get too much of a variation, you get stuff like neurological issues start to come out, or if internal development starts to happen and stuff like that. So it's quite interesting to see that sort of stuff. But that's why the big incubators, like the full walk-in, massive wall incubators, do really well, because their temperature can be stable throughout the whole area.
I bought my actual. It could be the fact that I bought it second hand, and it was 60 quid.
Yeah.
I crashed. Sorry.
Do you remember, Scott, just down the road from you, Gallagher Retail Park?
Yeah.
There used to be a shop on there called Maplin's.
Maplin's, no, it's what is it now? It's the
I don't know what
Coventry Football Club shop now.
Oh, is it? Well, Maplin's, when it was there, that's where I brought my incubator from for £42. It's exactly the same as yours, just without a lucky reptile sticker. But I'm going back 6 years.
He says also variant between shelves by a few degrees. Hopefully have it mastered. Is about to fill it up. Also got a new exo incubator to try. That one seems to be holding regular temps so far. Hey, Mr.
Ooh.
Creepy Crawlers. Hey,
To-
Carl.
To be
Nancy Carl's
honest, how I
snakes and
hatched
lizards.
my eggs was a DIY incubator. I used a cricket tub with a
You see, now-
heat mat.
Leah's other half, he's not on Facebook or any social media, unfortunately. But apparently he can fix the lucky reptile ones so they don't overheat and stuff like that. So when we're in Wales next at Leah's, guess what I'm going to be giving him?
Ah, I'll give you mine to take down.
Innit?
Do you go a lot to Cheshire Reptiles, Richard?
I'm there tomorrow.
Ah,
Couple of times a week, nothing special. Tomorrow, we've got a big, we're doing a lot of planning and development for a DWA room, so Dangerous Wild Animal room.
okay.
There's just an awful lot of DWA animals coming up for rescue at the moment, and nowhere in the UK can take them. They just get destroyed. So we're starting up that venture. It's a massively expensive thing, massive
They've got
job.
to have this like separate unit or shed.
Yeah. Full-on separate unit, armoured double doors going into it, loads of safety rooms, double glass, so like double door glass on every enclosure. There's 24 enclosures to go through, separate wiring and harnesses for each individual enclosure. It's just a massive, massive ball ache that we're going to have to go through. But we need 24 enclosures, and we just got to try and figure out the space development and the foundation. We're a bit unsure on what the foundation needs to be because it can't be concrete, because it'll pull all the heat straight out of the building, and we don't need that. So we're going to go and work on that tomorrow and carry on with a bit more planning, make a load more phone calls and do all that sort of stuff. And I think there's 4 animals scheduled to come in tomorrow, and there's 6 animals scheduled to go out. So we're going to be dealing with that as well. Be interesting to see everything happen.
From
But that's
Manson
just
Carl
what's
says he's always
Is that
made
what
his
you
own
do?
incubators out of
Better.
glass door fridges.
Yeah, I've seen a load of them. But like I say, the bigger the
Coming.
fridge you get, the better.
Yeah.
Is that what you do in your spare time then, Cheshire?
No. That's just part of. I don't get spare time. That just fills it. I help them out, and then they help me out. I've got a business account with them, so I can get stuff a little bit cheaper than what I should do. Like a lot of their brand new product sort of stuff. I can go up there with ideas, and they can turn the ideas into 3D printed models. I can film content there, both building awareness to them and giving me content to do. And I can just do an awful lot of promotion for them, which is saving reptiles' lives in the process. It's not just reptiles now. They're starting to plug into some arachnids, as Scott will know, because countless times I've had to phone Scott up and say, Scott, I'm going to send you this picture. What is it? And it's been a tarantula of some description. To me, it's just been a tarantula. To them, and it just comes back every time. Oh, it's a green bottle blue. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Okay, then.
Did
Thanks.
you manage to sort out your UVB in the end? Hi, Spider Mum.
Oh,
Yeah.
My UVB for what?
The new tank, because it was the wrong size.
Yeah. No, I've sorted all that out. It's all done. It's ready. It's done and dusted. It's built. It's just going through a bioactive bacterial bloom at the moment. So I'll give it a few weeks before that's actually settled down, and when the ecological system inside actually starts to sort itself out, and then that'll be ready to have him in there. But obviously, all the lights are off at the minute. But that's it, just there.
How's
Richard,
all
actually,
your blouses?
Sorry.
Okay,
How's all
talking
your
about the
woodlouse? How's
so
all
many
your
people are talking.
woodlouses? How's all your woodlouses?
Fine. Most of them are actually in that enclosure now.
I reckon
Yeah.
he will eat them as well.
Yeah,
My
possibly.
brooder.
But that's why
My
I like to put them in now,
chameleon,
so that
though.
they've got enough time to actually rejuvenate and settle in.
talking about bioactive. When you look at a fish tank, you can physically see.
Oh no.
You can physically see when that bioactive side and the bacteria is building up, because the water can go a little bit cloudy, and then it clears itself up towards the end of that biological cycle. You can also empty your filter, and in the filter all the sludge is the bacteria. How can we physically see or test the bacteria to know it's active inside our bioactive cells?
I'll show you. Right. Oh no, I've got to try and figure out how to flip the camera around now again. I don't know how to do this.
You have to hit it. Hi, Leslie.
Right,
So
well,
while
we're
Rich is
going to
doing
do
that, remember
bedtime.
to hit Spider-Man 1978 up with subscriptions. We need and desperately want to see her hit the 1,000K by Christmas.
Right, you're going to say bye to Scott. We're going to go
Yeah.
to bed. Bye, Richard.
Bye.
Aww.
There you go.
Hey, y'all.
Hi,
See the
Christine.
colour of the Hydra balls?
Yeah.
That's the bioactive, beneficial bacteria in the biofilter. That then goes through the actual substrate layers and comes out of the substrate in clean humidity, and it goes up into the enclosure. But then you've also got to keep into consideration your plants taking a lot of the bad bacteria, like the carbon dioxides and stuff like that, and give out oxygen.
Ah.
I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. I'm so confused with stuff like this. There we go.
Thanks, Stefan.
So Stefan's just put Spider-Man 1978 link into the comments. Please click on that. Just double check that you're subscribed, and if you're not, hit her up with a subscription. That would be absolutely awesome.
The fireworks going off up here.
Oh,
See if that was gunshots.
They've not been too bad in Coventry, you know.
Do you know what I did?
They were heavy over the weekend, and now the fireworks have just gone quiet again.
On bonfire night itself, I finished work about 6 o'clock, met up with loads of friends. There was about 20 of us, and we all went walking up a mountain just because we wanted to see the fireworks while we were walking up the mountains. And then within like 100 meters, we were in the clouds and we didn't see anything.
Well, with COVID, I was still very much like I don't really want to go to a public display of fireworks because you're shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people. I can't afford time off work.
Cheers.
I can't afford time off work this close to Christmas. Layla was like, I want to go see some fireworks, blah, 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 because she's only like 12. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Scott.
Mark,
Hi,
guys.
Christine.
Here's my sweetheart.
So
I think we should make a song up for Mark. Spider guy, Spider guy does whatever Spider guy does.
So I said to Layla, I said we'll go for a drive round and go park up somewhere, see what we can see. So she gets in the car, Tara gets in the car, got the boys in the car, driving around, and she's like, "Oh, I can only see them miles away." I'm winding her up. I'm going, "Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. I went, we're going to park up here." I says, "We're going to get ourselves a coffee from the cafe just up the road." I said, "And then we'll go home." She was like almost crying in the car. I said, "Do you want a coffee?" She was like, "Yeah." And I went and bought a load of fireworks, didn't I? Took Tara and the kids round to Tara's sisters, and we had bonfire fireworks and that in the back of their garden. And
am I the only one that sat here going, "Well, where was my invitation?"
It was. Yeah.
Even Spider-Man would have come all the way over here to see that.
It was something significant. It was a significant day for Tara and her sister, anyway, and they needed to be together on that day. So
yeah,
it happened. Mark just needs the beard, doesn't he? Mark needs the beard.
I can't grow hair on my head. I ain't going to get a beard.
I was going to say, if you've got a beard, wouldn't his head be upside down?
What was that, Richard?
If you had a beard, wouldn't your head be upside down?
Would you?
Oh, you know when you built a really nice enclosure and you can't put an animal in there for like a month, but you die in to put one in there. I keep looking at it going, oh, he's going to love it. He's going to absolutely love it. Guaranteed, it's probably just going to be like the green tree python. He'll go in there and trash the place, but still.
Yeah.
It's like a work of art.
I was like that with the tokay. And as you know, I put the sticks and the stuff at the front, so I was thinking, yeah, the tokay will stretch up on there, it'll sunbathe, it'll look absolutely awesome. Nah, he just hides at the back, out of sight, all day. Sometimes if I come in here at night time and you don't hear me, I can catch him on the glass like this, as they do. But
yeah.
apart from that, I'll never see him. Never seen
My
it.
morning geckos down there do exactly that. Just sit on the glass all the time.
That's so cool.
So
How weird is it? I've got that tropical bioactive enclosure, that tropical bioactive enclosure, that tropical bioactive enclosure, that arid bioactive enclosure, that semi-tropical bioactive enclosure, and all the tarantulas.
Carl says, what are you putting in that one?
Which one? That one behind me?
Yeah.
Mushu, the Calyx versicolor. Now, I don't know if people know the story of Mushu, because it's quite a fascinating story. As anybody, I'm now going to be like totally open here, because I've kept it quiet for a couple of years now. Do you know Travis Perkins, the wood company?
Yeah.
Mushu came to Travis Perkins in a shipping container full of wood from South Asia. He's classed as a wild stowaway. So he would come by mistake. He jumped in that container before they closed it up. He spent 18 days on a ferry coming all the way over to the UK to then spend, I mean, if you're not from the UK, you won't know this, but he spent like 18 hours in the back of a lorry, that's the worst part of the whole journey in the UK anyway. They opened up the container and out we popped. One of the lads there was a reptile enthusiast, TM Reptiles. He captured him, phoned me and said, I don't know what it is, but can you come and grab it? I went and grabbed it, found out what it was, and phoned the authorities. They said, well, he's not a threatened species, so we're just going to destroy him. I went, no. We'll keep hold of Mushu. And we've kept hold of him. He's been with us now for 3 years nearly. Now, consider this animal who lives for 5 to 7 years. And we've had him for 3 years, and he was an adult when we got him. So God knows how old he is. But he's a wild stowaway. He's used to wild captivity. The hardest part with him was transferring him over to the diet that we can provide him here in the UK. Because we can't provide him with his natural diet. We just can't. So hopefully this will help him be a bit more natural, so to speak. Even though he's fast asleep snoring his little head off at the minute.
Done and waiting for the plants to establish. Hey, Andy.
You going to come and show everyone? You got to come sit down. Oh, no. Do you do that?
Part of the film.
Scott can do it, can't he? Go on, Mark. You show Jake about if you can do it. There's Mark.
I can't.
Trick.
I only learned how to do it because of Star Trek.
I can connect them together.
Yeah.
Watch the
I got
tablet.
something.
Oh, Diana says Annabelle said thank you for letting her on. That's okay. That's fine, Annabelle. Hey,
Russell.
Coco. Oh, hi, Russell.
Hey, Russell.
I don't know.
Hi, Kyle.
When's
So
your
get
next
this.
live, Christine?
What's that?
When's your next live?
Well, I have the AKAC Sunday on my channel, but I'm going to do one Monday. I'm going to do a live Monday. So
Shall I start doing live streams?
I like doing live streams.
I just can't commit to the same time every week or every whatever, just because of my shift patterns. So I tend to just, if I've got a spare hour, I'll whack it on a live stream if I've got good phone signal.
Yeah.
It's difficult just because of life. I don't know
Yeah.
about shift patterns as well as. Yeah.
What projects has everyone got going on at the minute? No. You can't see it.
I've got a load of scorpions coming this week for a breeding project. It's going to be over the next
I'm doing
2 or
some
3 years.
So what's the project?
Asian forest scorpions.
Breeding.
Just breeding them, yeah. And then
So the ones that you get in, are they captive?
yes, I think so.
Oh, so it'll be interesting to see if their offsprings are going to be a little bit more domesticated than the wild version.
Maybe in morph, but I can't see in temperament them being any different. Because they're like spiders, so they've got prehistoric mind. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds like me.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many are you getting?
13.
Wow.
You know for a fact 13 is my lucky number.
All right.
Oh, I can't wait to
Yeah.
see how that's going to go then. But how would you go about pairing them? Do they eat the males like the?
Not exactly. They can kill the males, but it's literally a tug of war. So the male will come along all happy. I've got to be careful how I express this because I know there's some children watching at the moment. But you need like a flat rock, and the male will grab the female's pincers. He'll put his sperm on that flat rock, and then he'll pull her over that flat rock, so she picks up that sperm on the underneath.
Isn't that right?
Remember, there's under 18s watching currently.
Yeah, that's what I should have thought. But
But if you look to the animal world, I think 80% of reproduction is exactly what you've just said.
nobody's got a single word to say.
Shock and horror.
Well, you say that, but what about mourning geckos? Because they're parthenogenic.
Hey, flawless. They are to a some degree, but then they chuck out males, don't they, to get to change the DNA around, which is darker, smaller, aren't they?
I don't know. All I know is they do chuck out the odd male here and there. I tend to find, though, just like with breeding dubia roaches, if you have too many males, they just get eaten.
Andy
I mean, you've seen my death wish.
Truth bomb and it all goes silent.
You've seen my death wish that I've got, my mourning gecko that I've nicknamed Death Wish.
Yeah, yeah.
He just keeps, the female just want to eat him. I've had to separate him out.
I've got the 4 females in the enclosure. There's a couple of babies in there because I just can't get those can't get them all out.
Yeah.
But to stop them chasing each other, I've got like I've got a little tub with a little suction cup that goes on the side now.
Like the field canisters?
No. So I could put mealworms in it so they can come and have food whenever they want. So hopefully that'll help a little bit, something different, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then I put some wood lice in there as well, just so they're more concentrated on the ground moving than what they are on the babies, maybe.
Ooh, that'd be good if you go for like the giant orange, because they can, they're on the surface, they're making a visible movement.
Exactly, yeah.
That'll just distract them. And that's a good idea.
I've put about 30 dairy cows in there.
Ooh. There you go. Have you seen the price of them lately? Man, you're talking. So you've basically got £30 worth of dairy cows in there.
Mate, I've got about 300 or 400.
So you've got about £300 or £400 worth of dairy cows. They're going for a fortune.
Means nothing to me. Really does mean nothing to me.
I don't know whether it's because of the whole clean-up crew shortage that's going on at the minute.
I don't know. Everybody that I know that keeps dairies seem to have like hundreds and hundreds because they breed like crazy.
So what do you feed yours on?
Fish flakes mainly.
Oh, no, I've sent it down some of this aquarium system stuff. It's quite good, to be fair.
I've got some cuttlefish bone in there. If I run out of cuttlefish, I'll put just the Arcadia calcium. Yeah. A little bit of that in the corner, and then once a month I'll put like fresh fruit in there, or even if the fruit's got a bit of mold on, I'll chuck them in as well. So.
Ooh.
Now Anton says, do dairy cows hurt spiders? This is like an ongoing kind of debate because
I'd like to see your view on this.
Dairy cows obviously hunt and look for, as do most isopods, calcium. So when a tarantula is on its back at its most vulnerable, molting, that skin that is molting obviously is quite high in calcium. So there is a theory that thinks that the dairy cows could then eat the tarantula as it's molting and kill it that way. I'm yet to see any hard evidence to prove that. But it does make sense. It could be possible. I think there is a species that's not heavily calcium dependent, which people prefer to put in with spiders, which the name completely slips me at the moment.
Dwarf whites.
Could
Because
well be
dwarf
the
whites
dwarfs.
are a parthenogenic burrowing species.
Ah, I've got tons of
Maybe
those.
that
in the
might-
assassin book.
It'll be interesting to see if we Googled what isopods or what bugs are actually from that specific area. Because I know the likes of your brachypalmas and stuff like that, your Mexican species, the cleanup crew they've got in Mexico is flies. So they're not physically on the ground. So maybe that would help.
Well, the thing with Porcellio species dairy cow, they're actually a morph.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be seen in the wild because, like I said, because they're a morph. I've literally just bought some more isopods on eBay at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the Kluge Montenegro I paid £15 for 10 at the Bristol show. Then I bought another 10 for £16 posted. And then I like to have 2 or 3 bloodlines if I can in with the isopods.
Yeah.
And on eBay, currently there's a seller that's selling 10 for £8 posted.
Oh.
I was like, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
They've got somebody's just said in the chat that they've got rubber duckies. There's rubber duckies on eBay at the moment. I think it's like
Really?
250 quid for 10 to 15.
Really?
There's the one I really like is a rubber ducky, Jupiter. It's a bit lighter, but they're like 400 quid for 5 to 10. And I can't. There's just no way I could spend that much money on 4 or 5 isopods to watch them possibly die.
Well, that's it. You've got no
breed. They're
guarantee.
one of the most slowest to breed and one of the most slowest growing species as well as. So
I think with that, you have
expensive.
to buy them for a breeding project to get your money back before you go any further.
it's years before you'll see any money back from them.
Yeah. Is there anybody waiting to come on the broadcast?
Nope.
Oh, do you want to explain to any new viewers what it's all about?
Yeah, basically, if you've got a camera and if you want to follow this link that I'm pointing in now, it's so simple to follow and set up. Do so, pop on the live, tell us about your hobby or ask us any questions. Now we've got Mark and Spider-Mum in as well as Richard. We have some extensive knowledge, to say the least, going on at the moment.
He's basically just called us all old.
What? Hey?
I am.
Mark's late 40s. Spider-Mum's in her early 20s. I'm 42. and Richard's, what are you now, 49?
Yeah, come on, Annie.
Yes, Annie.
I think you're the baby on screen, aren't you, Richard? You're still in
I am, yeah.
30. My robustum lost a
34.
leg, Scott.
Sorry?
My robustum lost a leg.
Oh, no way.
God, he must have had a good night with that legless.
Yeah. Been in the same enclosure 3 years. But Sandra checks him every day. Got up to check the waters, and his one leg was by the water bowl.
Oh.
So moved her out the enclosure.
You know yourself, it'd be back again.
Yeah, I moved her out that enclosure now anyway, because it's got lots of holes in the perspex on top, and I think she must have got caught in that. Oh, so moved her out.
Ooh, interesting.
I think, unfortunately, Mark, I don't think you'll ever know.
No.
But you know yourself, they lose legs in the wild, they grow them back.
Yeah.
So
Amazing how evolution's evolved.
Of watching, watching the new leg evolve in the next molt, and then the next molt, and documenting it, and showing everybody that's not gone through that.
Yeah, she's doing fine.
I've got a friend of mine at the moment who sent me a picture of a curly hair. It's not lost a leg, it's grown one, so it's got 9.
Good hell.
It's actually got 9 legs. I've heard of it once before, and that was actually a curly hair. So I'm hoping to get the camera on it and try and think what's best for the.
Why do you think he's got 9 legs?
I have no idea. mutation.
But that's it. Could it be a genetic mutation through poor breeding, like the temperature differences, like just like with leopard geckos when they get mutations?
It could be the proof of of crossbreeding maybe in its history somewhere. Or,
It'd be interesting to see if it was a captive bred.
Or captive bred with captive bred with captive bred, literally a line bred, and then boom, mutation.
Oh, I'm not being funny. If you've got a curly hair, you know how slow they grow. Imagine how many years that would have had to have been line bred to have 9 legs. Be
No,
interesting to see if that leg stays on all the way through to adulthood.
It looks like a small juvenile at the moment, but I'll find out more probably at the weekend. To be honest,
Do you reckon it like walks around in circles because it's got 1 leg extra on one side?
it drags it.
Oh, sorry, Mark. We found out who's robbed the other leg for you. All I can think is a tarantula trying to do the floss with an extra leg.
Just remember, up until 9 o'clock, there is still kids in the chat, and then after 9 o'clock, it certainly goes over 18. So be warned.
But we're still in the same category.
So yeah, it literally just drags its leg along.
So it's like not a moving leg; it's just a limb.
Just literally a limb, yeah.
Oh, it'll be interesting to see if he catches that leg and just tugs it off like on his own.
Yeah, whether he loses it, but then he must have had it, or she must have had it through several molts. So whether it will lose it in a molt or
You need your medicine.
it will stay there.
Could
Only
the dead
time
limb
that-
just not be an attachment from an old molt?
I don't know until it doesn't look it by the pictures that have been sent. Like I said, I'll know more over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to kind of get it here.
Yeah.
Because that's the way the conversation was going.
So you're going to do a load of footage on it?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Interesting. So what other mutations has anybody seen with tarantulas? There's got to be some more besides just that.
Yeah, the curly hairs can be not as curly and less hair. And that's basically the hobby form.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
And then obviously light and dark in colorization. So
And
you can
extra
get,
legs
like-
and less legs.
I've seen it more with the Polithia Metallica than what I have seen anything. And that's,
Yeah.
you can see the darker and the lighter colours. People are also saying that could be a variant in locales as well. So it's,
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, you look at the story behind is it the Brachypalma smithy? Brachypalma smithy was on one area of Mexico, and then the Rio Balsas River was running through that area. That river, over years and years and years, slowly got wider and wider to the point where the tarantulas couldn't get over that river. And they're both slowly just genetically changed over generations and generations. Now you've got the Smithy and the Hamori. When did that actually happen? When did they classify it as a Hamori instead of just the Smithy?
I think that was in the last podcast, remember? Because I remember it being a Smithy, and then
Yeah.
Suddenly there was a Hamori.
Last few
suddenly
years.
going out to Amori, yeah.
Really interesting. And there's only very slight differences. I was watching Andrew Smith's video about it, and he was showing the physical slight differences, and they are only slight. But you wouldn't know unless you compared them side by side.
2 to 3 years ago, Andy said. It's weird though, because I mean, you could possibly, I mean, I'm certainly not going to, but you know, in the wild, there's going to be species that cross over with spiders, I would have thought, and with tarantulas, especially over in Mexico, where most of them are like terrestrial. Hi, Bug Pimp UK. There is a line of thought that says if 2 different species breed, then the offspring aren't fertile. you can kind of dismiss that because we've got a thing called evolution.
Yeah.
So evolution to me says that's not 100% correct. But there's
What do you think
there's a
we
lot-
evolved from?
Exactly. But there's a lot of research needs to be done into tarantulas, but it's literally going to take 2 or 3 lifetimes to be able to do it. I think unless you want to concentrate on one genus and have a lot of the same spider and go from there.
I'll tell you someone who's doing quite good work at the moment.
Pimp is creepy and crawly. He's changed the name. Jim says problem is if it's picked up on too late, the animals in the hobby are hybrids. That's another thing. There is another theory that says like 80% of the spiders that we have in the hobby are hybrids. Hey Sharon.
Yeah, but are they hybrids from wild caught, or are they hybrids because of our inbreeding?
That's a good point. No idea.
If you get a hybrid that's out in the wild and you put it to a true genus, then you're going to get like what 75%.
That's what we were kind of getting together and saying, look, you know, if let's say pokies Palethi areas are disappearing in the wild, there's a load in captivity. Why can't we breed them then release them? And the main thing was that. The main thing looking at that was the genetics and proving that the ones that we've got in captivity are purebred.
But here's one for you then. Does it matter?
We just go by the markings.
But does it matter? The tarantula, if it's hybrid or not, will still play the exact same ecological role out in the wild. It will still eat the same bugs, keeping the bug populations down, and it will still get eaten by predators. Keeping those predators less hungry.
Very true. Andy's
Does it
just
matter?
I'm sure Martin Lee's had an Emernia cross Cambridge hybrid that was produced as part of an experiment. All the others which destroyed, but he kept one and grew it on and posted a pic once. Yeah, that's completely true, Andy. It was also stated that spider was infertile, which I think was probably a lie to stop other people doing it. But then, why should one person crossbreed and then, for the sake of an experiment, just once? We need to do it several times. Do you know what I mean?
Several hundred times.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you think you're going to have to, if that infertile information is correct, you're going to have to prove it. How are you going to prove it? Breed a ton of them and pair them all. You've got to grow them all up to adulthood, then pair them all, which, as you know, the males mature a hell of a lot quicker than a female matures. So you're going to have to do that project for yourself for a long time.
But then, see, Dave says most hybrids are infertile. It's like evolution says they're not. You've only got to look at the reptile side of things. And I mean, Richard, how many morphs are in the reptiles?
Too many.
You look at, I don't know, look at a boa. How many different morphs are with boas, which are all crossbreeds?
Well, look, okay, now let's look at the royal pythons, for instance.
And line bred just to get that particular morph.
Comes from nature. They have a genetic trait in a wild caught animal that's been brought into captivity, and genetic traits have bred out of them. I mean, like pieds. You get pieds in the wild.
Well, you're going to get albinos. They're just going to get destroyed because they're spotted a mile off by predators.
Yeah, it's the same reason with pieds. The pieds are a wild animal. That visual genetic trait was a wild animal to start with. Same with not the banana, the chocolate, the gravels. They were all wild. It's more common to find, if you find one visual morph in the wild, chances are the other snakes that are in that local area have bred with that exact animal, and they're all going to be codominant to that actual morph itself. So they're working on that.
Surely that's where we get the locals from.
Yeah. I mean, you look at your pit vipers, how many different colour localities you've got with that. Same with green tree pythons as well. I mean, my green tree python is a Biax Tarong. It's a cross between the two, and they're two totally different localities or two totally different areas, and the crossbred to get him.
And then for the spider people, I'm thinking along the lines of OBTs, because you've got the orange bitey thing. You got the dark. Well, you got the Mikumi, the Marinius. What's
The
the
orange
other one,
bitey bastard.
Mark?
Sorry, what was that?
You've got the Mikumi, the Marinius. What's the other OBTs?
Oh,
No,
God.
yeah. It might. I've got one.
I'm trying to think.
Where's my other
I
one?
don't know, because I've only got the one species I have, the orange.
I got the
The orange
BCF.
bitey thing.
Mm.
Is it
I got-
the BCF the Mikumi one, Christine?
I'm not sure, Scott. I'm not sure which one the BCF is. Let me see.
But yeah, there's several different. I was just looking around because I've got spiders all over the shop, and I've got 3 different types of OBT.
Oh no, wait, that's it.
I
Right.
can remember the Mikumi and the Marinius.
You should be in bed, little man.
Really?
Wait till we're noisy.
Morsa, let's have a quick look down these comments.
Are you going to finish that up?
Spiders, which Sandy says, I don't think he conducted the experiment, but was some sort of advisor consultant on it. No, I think Martin actually bred them himself. I remember talking to him about it. I would have to confirm that, but it was a couple of years ago that I chatted to Martin about that. Morphs are crossbreeds of them same species. Hybrids are from different species, hence the infertility, says Dave.
Got a point.
Jim says they are trying to bring back the different gallop tortoise species using an old group that came from a mixed up colony.
There was a story going on that there was one island with only one Galapagos tortoise available. Once that one male had died, that was it. The whole species was extinct. They found a female version of it. I think it was a hybrid version of it, but they found a female one in, I think it was San Diego Zoo. They took it over to the Galapagos Islands. They paired them. They got all the eggs, 150 eggs, incubated them at 100% hatch rate, and that one pairing brought the entire species back from extinction.
All right, Ryan.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that. And he sat there, the king just sat there on the island, looking his head. It was domesticated now, though. It's like that many scientists just sort of there watching him, interacting with him. He's slightly more domesticated, but he brought the entire species back from extinction with one night stand.
But then, what about corn snakes crossed with milk snakes? That makes a jungle corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Carl from Nads and Carl Snakes and Lizards. That is very, very true. Rat snakes and milk snakes, corn snakes have been mixed up like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Same with all the different king snakes as well. The T positive, T negatives. Well, they've all been done. Same with the hognose as well. But again, we have to ask the question of: is it a problem? They were obviously bred for demand in the pet trade. As long as we're breeding captive bred to captive bred, and we're getting captive bred babies, and they are staying in captivity, what's the problem?
Yeah, I suppose the problem would lie as if they got out at some point.
But I'm not being funny, especially here in the UK. If a corn snake got out, it wouldn't last the winter. To be fair, with the dogs and the other animals we have, I don't think it'd last a few weeks.
Oh, we got JJ. Hey, JJ.
Good evening.
Hi, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
How's it
Jim
going?
Reptiles Jungle says zoos have to test DNA of Cuban crocs before breeding, so the lot have a mix of American croc in them.
Well, that's because the Cuban crocs are on they're on the endangered species list, and they get bred in the zoos for wild repopulation, or for they get bred to be passed on through the different zoos to be kept in captivity, so no more have to come out of the wild.
That makes sense.
They have to make sure that that's absolutely 100% genetically sound if they are adding to repopulation. Let's face it, you don't want to put a captive bred out there in case the captive bred just has lost that sort of instinct slightly. They do it with our native sand lizards as well. Chester Zoo are the big ones that do it. So a Celtic Celtic, what is it? Celtic Animals, Amphibians and Reptiles or something down in Stoke. They do it as well. They breed our sand lizards for wild repopulation. They have to make sure they're genetically sound before they repopulate.
Shane is not something like that with the spiders as well as.
But is there? Have we done much research to find out if there is?
I haven't found
That's-
anything.
So there you go. There's
Is there
a
anything
feature
over in the
for you.
States, Christine?
What's that?
Is there anything in the States
Anything in the States? No, I haven't heard anything.
for spider DNA testing?
I haven't heard anything. I could look it up, but I don't.
It'd be interesting to see if there are any programs for wild repopulation. I mean, you look at some of Andrew Smith's Love Tarantulas videos where he goes back to the site locations 20 years later and there's nothing less compared to what there was.
Exactly.
It's heartbreaking. Same with the coral reefs as well. David Attenborough's doing that at the minute,
Oh,
going back to the coral reef where he was 10 years ago, showing the footage from 10 years ago to now where there's a dead coral reef. The exact
Well,
same location.
the Great Barrier Reef is no longer one of the wonders of the world, is it?
Exactly.
Which is, I remember videos of it when I was watching David Attenborough's like 35 years ago, and it was
They're colourful.
packed with life. And now you see the same areas, and it's just white dead coral. It's
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
it is.
When I go around my mate's house and he has a lot of corals all in his fish tank, and I see them all, and it's like absolutely amazing. And then you see the sea, and it's like we're going to end up with more corals in fish tanks than what we are in the sea pretty soon.
But that's exactly the same scenario with crested geckos at the minute. Crested geckos are a threatened species in the wild, yet in captivity there's millions of them.
Well, it's just like the same thing as certain genus and species of tarantula. You got to look at the Poecilotheria metallica. There's more in captivity than in the wild.
Here's one for you then. We've got
Team
five
Sardonia
fairly
as well.
experienced people here. How do we say, what is it, Poecilotheria? How do we say it? Scott, you go first.
You say it however you want to say it. I say Poecilotheria.
What do you say, Spider-Man?
Poecilotheria.
Mark,
Poecilotheria.
JJ.
I haven't got a Scooby.
What?
You ain't got a clue.
Oh, I said
I ain't got a
Poecilotheria.
clue.
Well,
I've only
again,
been
going back
to-
to Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith says the way you pronounce it is exactly how you at home say it.
He says
no-
he
there's no
says it his
right
way, and
or
then
wrong
says
way.
that you can pronounce it how you want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very nice. You can pronounce it how you please. I was like, ooh, bit posh.
Tomato,
I think-
tomato.
Exactly.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Then there, oh God, Cole just put that word in. I had a acoustic. I said it.
Leucistic.
Texas rat snake that got out and was
Leucistic.
outside for 1 year and 6 days before he found it climbing the fence. So that's a white rat snake out and about for 1 year and 6 days. At the back of Cole's garden, there's going to be foxes and there's going to be other animals that could easily destroy something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's an epic story.
Nature finds a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, but not in the UK. You're likely to get other stuff. I just had to look at the time and think, no, we're not past the watershed yet.
2 minutes past 9, yeah, we are.
In
So
the UK,
if you are under 18, probably best to switch off because we do swear a bit after 9 o'clock. Obviously, if anybody joining, just remember monetize, so just be careful with what you do actually say.
Yeah, you don't want to say words like that and that.
My snake got out today, Scott.
Why did you let it out?
I'd forgot to shut the door on it, and I
But
was
it
over.
didn't get out then. You let it out.
Well, I'll let it out. Yeah, I was over at Pete's and Sandra phoned me up. It was in between the spider tanks.
What were you
Need to
doing
hurry.
with your snake in between the spider tanks? The watershed has well and truly gone.
I had a boa got out and it wrapped itself all around this racking, and I'm late for work and I'm trying to unbury it from this racking and all sorts. It was a nightmare. Hey Ellie,
I notice how Ellie comes in after the watershed.
Hey, Ellie.
because she plays football.
I didn't actually play today.
Oh,
You weren't playing.
No, I went to, and then just as we was about to leave, found out it was cancelled because of COVID.
Oh no.
God, has it
That's
increased
just an
in
excuse
Wales?
for them to say they're going down the pub.
But it didn't go so well. When it was actually time then for us to start getting ready to come home, my boy decided, no, I'm going to kick him. So it took longer than expected to get everything sorted.
It's because you're Welsh.
No, it's because we have a routine of going to football and they like their routine. And when things change, it doesn't always work.
Anton. Ryan says, undone the zip, Mark was flying.
I'm glad I missed whatever happened just before I got in.
Mark laid snake out in between two spider tanks.
And, yeah,
Look at the smile on his face as well. He's proud of it.
He's like, yeah.
Is it free roaming, innit?
They just call that commando.
It's lovely and warm in Pete's invert shed, though, isn't it?
How do you know?
oh my goodness.
I've got 6 people on now. Who's on?
We've got Ellie, we've got JJ, we've got Mark, we've got Spider Mom, and we've got Princess Richard.
boys, behave yourselves.
Yeah, do a success.
Anton says, Richard, how's the GTP?
Absolutely amazing. I'm thinking about getting another one. He fed perfectly last night, doing absolutely amazing. He sat there on his log at the minute, just loving life. Yeah, I am thinking about getting another.
I'm very privileged. I can't say who or what or anything, but I've seen some absolutely amazing morphs with GTPs of recent.
Yeah, there are
There's
some
ones-
beautiful ones.
There's ones that look like they've got digital camo, so it looks like they've got tiny squares all over their body.
Yeah,
Mate, they're just mind blowing. But then you look at the price tag, and they carry such a high price tag. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, 10 grand. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
mine's by across the wrong GTP. So it's a locality bred. He's a hybrid between one from Bayak and one from Sarong. But he's doing absolutely amazing, like properly amazing. Shedding perfect every time, feeding like a tank, and he's putting the weight on as well. He's really putting some weight on now. Now consider I got him from a sterile sort of setup, and he wasn't really eating that much, and he wasn't putting the weight on. He was just the same weight he was from 2 years previous. I've had him in this bioactive setup. He's doing absolutely amazing. He loves the UV light. There is one thing I found with him though. He won't drink from a water bowl. I have to physically drink him every single day. I just got a bottle and stabbed a hole in the bottom and just leave it on top of his enclosure, and he comes straight up to it and starts drinking, which is kind of concerning in a roundabout way. Sorry?
Chameleon, we run water down the wall like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Not interested. Put the sprayer on, so I spray at it. It opens its mouth and turns its mouth at the sprayer and just drinks water from the spray gun instead.
Yeah.
Mental. Anton says he's just bought an adult female, so green tree python, but it's an ARU, so an aura, cross sarong. Big money.
Imagine that crossed with a male Bayak cross the wrong.
Corey says, hi Ellie, can I look after those cats for you? It's the boa's feeding day soon.
Oh.
Ellie, be nice, he's only young.
If Corey's big enough to dish out sarcastic comments, he should be big enough to take them back.
Who wants to tell Ellie that that wasn't a sarcastic comment? He was actually being quite serious.
Corey was probably being very serious. Unusual Pet says, anyone else think Richard sounds like Neil Buchanan? She's been on one all day. All day she's been on one. Corey says they're not sarcastic, so he's not being sarcastic. Oh dear.
We need to do something like that.
Well,
So you just look sitting in your animal room at night, just looking around.
I can't just do that. I can't just sit here. I've got to be either, if I'm not on a live, I never just sit here. I'm always like, right, I can rehouse that, I can do this, I can do that, or I can clean that. I can't just go, that's it.
See, now that's just solely because you've got over 300 of them.
Well, almost 300, yeah.
I just sit down in my chair, put my feet up, my work's done, and I just watch the animals. Especially around about 2 o'clock in the morning, the GTP starts really exploring his enclosure. The morning geckos are chirping away, they're starting to spawn. The tarantulas are really dead active. And the royal python, that's out of his enclosure because he just loves his hot hide at the minute, just hides in there all day. At night time, he's out, he's climbing, he's up in the branches, everything. I can't wait to get Mushu in that one. That'll be absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. At night time, if I come downstairs, do you know when you wake up in the night, you think, yeah, sod it, I'll just pop downstairs. That's when I can actually sit in here and go, wow, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Have you ever sat there and worked out exactly how much it all cost?
No.
I'm too scared to do it myself.
I think you dread to do that, Scotty. You'd
Oh,
probably faint if you kept where it was.
I'd probably cry. I
Aye.
would cry.
Look after the pumpkins really well.
I've got a bit of an
Besides feet.
issue when it comes to spending, as everybody knows. Like, Anton, can I put those? Can I show those pictures on here?
Oh, what pictures?
Corey.
Can't wait to see these pictures. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so this is Anton's breeding project. That he's
Oh, is
gonna
this
be
the-
doing.
Is that only a young one?
Hold on. Then
Look at that. My jaw just hit the floor.
That one I love. That is gorgeous.
They are beautiful. Two of them are gorgeous.
Oh, I want another GTP so bad.
Anton is your man.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I don't think he's got any of his babies left now, has he?
I think he had one left.
Oh, really? I thought that was it. He was done.
That might have gone. I'm
Well,
hoping-
Anton, if you've still got it left, drop me a DM and let me know a price and some pictures, and we'll go from there. Am I right in saying Anton lives up in Glasgow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is then. So we're gonna have to take a road trip up there.
I think they're around the 500 mark.
Yeah.
But
Sounds
purely
about right.
because of the genes and all the rest of it.
Be interested
I
to know
know-
the more.
I know a couple of people that have had them off Anton, and they've all said the same. The amount of information that you get off Anton on the snake and all the rest of it is absolutely phenomenal. I know his hand
that's
delivered
how you
some
know
at
you've
an
got a
extra
good breeder.
cost. Yeah, everybody that said that they've dealt with Anton have all said what an amazing guy, such helpful guy, and all the rest of it. Anton, he said he's all sold out, unfortunately. If I can
thought he
breed
was.
mine this year, I'll be pairing both females this year. Ah,
Do you know what I reckon we should do with Anton? I reckon with Anton, I should just sort of, when he gets his eggs, I'll just put my initials on one of the eggs and we'll. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
that's a female. Dave, which is T-Reps, has just sent me a picture
Yeah.
because Dave had one of Anton's babies. That's one of Anton's baby snakes.
Yeah. That'll obviously the colour will change on that, but it's beautiful, isn't it?
With the witches T-Reps in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my DTP. Let me spin the camera. If I can figure out how to spin the camera again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
I can't make the bigger. Where is it?
Let's see if I can get it.
Get it Nido tested and I'll buy it off you, Richard, says Anton.
So beautiful.
It's coming out to say hi.
I love the way they sit.
Yeah, I do too.
He's just got a fresh meal inside him, so I don't want to disturb him too much.
Yeah.
Look at him coming out to you.
I love the colour on it.
He's absolutely amazing.
It's like it's a dark
And
key
it
day.
actually allows me to keep some plants in there.
Light.
Sorry?
So it's got like the kind of dark green head, and then the rest of the body goes down into a light colour.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that was the enclosure where you changed the mesh front for glass or perspex?
Yeah. No, it's glass.
Or is it actually glass?
Yeah, exactly. I've got a full background build on it, and the front's glass. The bottom's perspex. See the I can't see where I'm going. Yeah, the bottom of the actual enclosure is perspex, but the top, the door, is glass.
Wow.
Well, that was solely an aid just to sort of keep the humidity in there.
Apparently, the price of glass is about to go up again.
Do you know how much that panel of glass cost me? That panel of glass is 6 mil wide. It's double laminated. It was £6.
Yeah, because of COVID,
I
it's
went there
put the
with the
orders well back.
measurements.
Exoterras are about to go up in price, apparently, because of the cost of shipping.
Anyone want to buy an Exoterra?
Yes, me. How much? I'll buy
I don't know how
one.
much they're going up for.
And
Grand?
that one. No, they've come down in price. You get 5 for a tenner.
Oh, okay, then I'll buy yours off you. I've got so many enclosures to do, it's unreal. I've got a 3-foot one there, which I've discussed with you already, Scott.
Yep.
I've got a big dark frog enclosure up there, which I've got to do. I've got my big 2x2 bearded dragon build to do. I've got my dubia colony to do. I think
was
that's it.
Who said, when you get morning geckos, you will find them everywhere because they're escape artists.
Mine haven't escaped. What, have you just found one?
Oh my goodness.
Where'd you find it?
Crawling across the desk. Tara said the other day, she went, there's one missing. Found it.
I need to give mine a good spray and a good mist.
Hi, Moo.
Bing bong bong. Hey,
Bing
Moo.
bong bong. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot off because Jacob's really struggling to get to sleep tonight, so I'm going to try and get him to sleep and stuff.
Have fun parenting.
Good luck.
See you later, Richard.
See you later, Richard.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to stop recording.
Found one of my adult hussars dead today. Females.
Oh,
For a second, then I thought Christine had a new worm, and then I realised she was playing with a cat.
I just wondered what that was.
It's midnight being a little stinker. Aren't you, buddy? Okay.
you know about it if it drops one. Dave, I'm looking at getting Manowari male for my new female. Bloody hell.
My baby.
I was checking on my slings last night and an escape artist. My pumpkin patch decided to go for a wee run.
Oh yeah, them dwarfs will do it in a
was lucky.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
I was lucky I had it actually in a container, or it had been away.
Yeah.
The fun I'd tried to catch it. It was tiny too.
What are you doing? Here. No, don't knock over the water.
It's always the ones that heavy web sit at the back of the webbing and you think, yeah, you'll be fine. They're always the ones that come flying out at 100 mile an hour.
It's only a sling, Scott. Honestly, it's only a sling, but honestly, the speed on it,
Oh, yeah.
it flew. I just turned the lid off. Next minute, it was away like a shot. I was just checking on it, make sure it was all right.
Bumpkin, which was creepy crawly, says he should have warned you about the pumpkin patch. Yeah, Mark, sorry.
Do you have any links for getting decent mesh for doing a bioactive for my sturmey?
No, we were supposed to get one off Dave, weren't we?
Yeah, isn't he? His wife couldn't find the link, but I want something decent in there for her. I did put it on Facebook to see if anybody but nobody got back to me on it.
Yeah.
I think probably people might be worried about going, oh yeah, well, I'll use this, and then somebody else go in.
Yeah.
The dog's okay, Corey. Thanks for asking. He's upstairs at the moment.
No, Dave.
Oh, we've got a bit
Good
before
night,
AM.
Dave.
Night, Dave. Thanks for joining.
Bye, Dave.
Right, Dave.
Yeah, because I need to change all of the enclosure, but I'm just, I just want to make sure I get the right mesh for it to be a bioactive. No, nothing that's gonna.
Is that the one that's lost the leg, Mark?
Sorry, JJ.
No.
Is that the one that lost the leg?
No, Mr. Mate.
How's the one that lost its leg then?
The robustum.
Aye, how's that then?
It's doing good. It's all right. Yeah. Luckily enough, she's walking around as good as ever, and
So it's no bothering her at all then, that she's actually lost it?
no, not really. She's just carrying on like she was before. So.
Oh well.
I think
Wish she's all right.
The Robustum are such a beautiful spider. Ellie gave me mine. Fucking love the thing.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Absolutely love it, yeah. It's got a bold bum now, so I think, and a fat bum. So I think it's coming up to another mold, and I can't wait. Probably not Leah, to be honest. I thought it was a cat you were showing up, Spider Mum. She's currently showing us.
I was actually trying to show you Midnight, not my puppies.
You could use that as a feather duster, Christine.
I know, jeez. He keeps whacking me in the face with his tail. Are you done? Are you done? Yeah. Sweet boy. You go.
If it's not Ellie playing with the pussy, it's Christine.
Yeah. Yep.
I play with multiple. Didn't you know? I'm a
If it's not Mark watching, it's JJ. Oh dear. Whoa. So have any of you guys got anything, any videos planned? Mark?
Not at the moment.
No rehousings or anything going
I've
on?
got a couple of rehousings to do, but look, they're buried and I don't want to uncover them yet.
Your rehousings
Leave
get
them for
a
a bit.
lot of attention, don't they?
All right?
I said your rehousings get a lot of attention.
Do they? Oh,
Yeah.
to be
yeah.
honest.
Yeah, you do really, really well at them, I think. Better than
Yeah,
me.
I've got a couple. My apophysis, I'll be moving soon. I
Nice.
think one more molt and I'll be moving her, so I'll do a video on that one. Getting quite big now in what she's in, so I want to upgrade her to something bigger.
I'm gonna do a couple of rehousings and I'm gonna do that Q&A video this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
When are they out, Christine?
It'll probably be. I'll probably let the Q&A out Thursday, and the other one probably Saturday. We'll have to see. But I'll let the Q&A out Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, because I have it on 3 different platforms. So I have questions on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So.
What time is it coming out on Thursday?
It's probably gonna be around. Let's see. It's probably gonna be around 5 o'clock y'all's time because I have game night that starts at 8 o'clock y'all's time. So it's probably about what time it'll come out.
And Todd.
What are you doing?
Ellie, you got any new ones coming out?
I haven't even got any out.
Videos on YouTube. Not OnlyFans, YouTube.
No, not particularly. I'm hoping to get some, but I don't know. It depends on how I feel on the day. Because if I feel like I want to spend time, I will spend time. If I feel like I want to do a video, then I'll do a video. Simple as.
Yeah.
I've not on YouTube. I've only got 4 slings in my daughter's juvie, and they're all happy where they are now.
Yeah.
You're waiting on a LP and you're off LJ?
Yeah. And all my isopods, they've already been housed.
JJ, if you wait a little bit longer, me and Leah might be having baby LPs. You can have some of them.
Yeah, you can have 100.
No, I wouldn't send him 100. You're quite new to the hobby.
No, joking. The amount you're going to have.
I didn't mind having 2 or 3 of them because it's one of my favourite teas, being honest with you. I just, I don't know what it is. I just love the LPs.
Well,
They're such a cracking tarantula.
they are.
I just
If
feel
I have
sort
two,
of large
if I have 2 or 3 of them, I'm no bother. For some unknown reason, I like the larger spiders. I like the larger teas.
I think LPs and curly hairs are literally so underrated because everybody refers to them as the beginner spider. And as soon as you say that, that's it, you know.
See, my daughter's got a curly hair, Scott, and it's a good size. And I've got a sling. And since I got the sling about 6 weeks ago, it is really starting to grow. And see the change on it. It's amazing. It's the same with my red rump. That's starting to grow too, and it's just seeing the change. Each stage it's gone through, it's amazing. Ken, didn't get me wrong, I think it's because I'm a beginner, and I've never seen something like that before.
It's still just as exciting further down the line, JJ. To be honest,
Mm-hmm. I can believe that.
Molts are literally. It's one of the things in the tarantula hobby that you wait for is a molt.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes your tarantula, you know, is going from juvenile colours to its adult colours, or just purely putting on size. But the transformation is always, even if you know what's coming, it still takes you by surprise, right?
Well, I went, my daughter's curly hair hit molted about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and it actually made like the carpet web on the thing, mate. And for someone I knew it was going to molt, me and my daughter, we went to bed that night and got up in the morning, he'd molted. The molt was actually sitting there.
Yeah.
See, if I'd known it was going to happen that night, I would have stayed up all night and filmed that.
Yeah, yeah. I did that
But it's
once
just
with an
amazing.
LP, and then since then,
But watching LJ's the other night there, that was just amazing. Actually watching them molting, it's fascinating.
Okay.
oh, it's amazing because the spiders, like you know yourself, run on hydraulics.
Mhm.
Then when they molt, they're moving that hydraulics in a different way to when they move to push their old skin off their bodies. Which, if you think about it, is like, you know, completely mind bending. Because us as humans, we have this movement in our arm. That's it. But then the spider's going from this to be able to actually put a wave of fluid down its arm to push that molt off. Which is
It's
like I said,
mesmerising.
it's absolutely mental.
It's mesmerising. Once you see it happening, you can't turn away from it.
No.
It's so, as I say, it's crazy.
When I filmed the LP, I kind of was watching it all the time and all the rest of it. But then when I put the footage down for editing and I put it on time lapse, so I put about 5 hours worth of film into 15 minutes. That at that point, when I first watched that bit back and seen it pulsate and push it off, that was just a mind bender, absolutely mind bender.
I'd love to catch Sid or even one of the wee ones, because I've got three of the wee molts. That's the molts for when I first got my 3 wee ones. I've still got them.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Lewis.
And I will keep them. Just the size of them is unreal. They're absolutely miniature.
I'm terrible with my molts because if I need to sex a molt, I'll sex it. Otherwise, I will. Oh, Ian. Otherwise, I'll just end up chucking them away.
All right, Ian.
Hey,
Otherwise, I know what will happen. I'll have boxes of molts with nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Leah will always have them.
Sorry?
Leah will always have the molts.
Yeah, the acrylic.
Right, Ian?
Yeah.
I've
How
not
often
kept
do they
any
molt?
such
I've
molt.
had my feather leg a few months and nothing from it. It can take up to a year for a spider to molt.
Depends on their life stage. When they're slings, they molt a lot quicker.
Well,
And the
Sid's molt,
Can be a bit longer.
Sid's molt, we got, when we first got him, he molted within about a space of 2 or 3 weeks when we first got him. But it wasn't it was about that size when we got him. And then it was another few weeks after that. And then that third molt was roughly about at least maybe 2.5 months before he molted again.
No.
I
I've
reckon
got
the next one might even be a wee bit longer.
Karan Kraken took 2 years, and she's literally molted 4 weeks ago into an adult female. And it's been 2 years since their last molt.
What are you doing tonight?
That has been my longest one. But then when you start looking at Gramostolias, as they get older, 2 years is pretty much what they are.
I've got 2 spiders and pre-molt myself at the moment.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, how are we all?
Hey, Andy.
Hey, doing, Andy?
Doing all right, yeah?
Ian, what you got?
Robbie's back in the chat. Hi, Robbie.
I've got 2 spiders in pre-molt, a Brazilian black and a yellow bottle blue.
I want a Brazilian black. Right, Andy?
Yeah, how you do? You all right, yeah?
I'm doing
Sandy in
fine
the
now.
cupboard.
Good. Everyone doing well?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, good, thanks.
I'm not in the cupboard today.
Where are you today?
Where are you today?
I'm in the bedroom. There's all the...
Whoa, Andy's come out of the cupboard.
I'm out the cupboard.
I was about the cupboard. Hey.
He's been released.
I've been released.
Andy's upgraded from being Harry
Trying to get the
Potter.
padlock unlocked then.
Quick, that's scary. Put him back in the closet.
That's it. Everyone's used to seeing me in the bloody shed, and
And you got the wee trap door underneath for getting fed more, aye? In your cupboard.
cat flap.
So, anybody going to the entomological show in Newark on the 5th of December?
No,
I
too close.
No.
My daughter's due to give birth the day after, so I won't be going nowhere over that
Ooh,
weekend.
I'm going to go Donny this weekend because of family reasons.
It's going to be a grand day.
I want to go.
This would be
Hopefully
number
able
3,
to
Ellie.
go.
Oh, wow.
What?
You don't even look old enough, Andy.
And number 4's due in January as well.
Oh,
With
shit.
my other daughter, my eldest daughter.
So,
Good luck to you.
I'm used to it. One of the eldest grandson lives with us anyway. He's mental.
I'm hoping to go to the one in Newark, but it just depends what's happening with Tara. Is all I'll say.
My next show is BTS, I think.
Carl, it's in Newark. I've got the details somewhere. I'll get them over to you.
They want to say.
I'm just going to wait till next year, see if they do any in Scotland.
They may do. They did one in Scotland a couple of years ago, and then COVID happened, didn't it?
2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hopefully they bring them back to Scotland so I can at least go to one of them. Because my daughter, she's desperate to go and see what they're like. Who am I right enough? I've never been to one.
You'll love it,
Yeah,
JJ.
shows and that.
Yeah, I've only been to Bedford, but it was good. I got to meet Mark and Scott at Bedford, actually, in face-to-face, in person.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'd need to
I'm
I'd
very
need to
shy.
put a
of
chain and
shows.
padlock in my wallet and hide the key. If I go to one of these shows, I'd end up spending a fortune.
That's my problem
One
on
of
the
the
5th.
invert shows. Telling you, I'd come home with a shitload.
Yeah, I did that. I went with so much in cash, and I thought once it's gone, it's gone. And I'd spent that before the show opened.
Ooh.
Honestly, I would.
Anton says there is a IHS meet very shortly, mate. Not a show, but it's a meeting happening with animals, etc. Anton's in Scotland as well, JJ. Or Tony's has just changed his name again. I'll have to drop you his Facebook
Aye.
link, because then if anything does happen, he can just send you over the links and stuff. Donny was good this year, says Carl. Yeah, I did hear that. Then I did hear quite a lot. The animals have gone up in price this year as well.
Yeah.
Hayley.
Hi, Lee.
My mate was telling me, you know, the last show, the Banana Royal Scott was 180 quid,
Wow.
which is ridiculous for a Banana
They were
Royal.
selling Shinosaurus at Donny this year. I bet they were expensive.
Scott, you should do the calendar though. You should get your picture done. If you don't, you won't see my wiener.
I know, there's just... Yeah, I've got a lot on my mind at the moment.
Yeah, but only people who are doing the calendar will get to see my wiener. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a bit on my mind, some confidence issues going on at the moment. I don't know where they've come from, but, you know, it happens, doesn't it?
Mine's family issues at the moment. That's why I've not been uploading much.
When I do my videos, it takes my mind off what is happening in real life. And to be honest, it's happening more to Tara than what it is me by far.
Hi, Faceless.
But it's not nice to see you
Faceless.
to see your other half in
Hi,
so much distress all the time, is it?
Hi, Faceless.
Of course it's not.
I go to Donny and they have Shins. I'm gonna go bankrupt. Jim, they had them. They had them at the last one apparently. But I mean, I was thinking about one, but then I was looking. The whole care and the involvement that you need with one is mad. Especially when you have to call them a lot, don't you? Ready for an incubation period. Ready for the when they go into hibernation. Sorry.
I'm umming and ahhing about a new reptile at the moment.
Yeah, but Anton, that's all part of it, mate. A new reptile?
Yeah.
What are you getting?
I'm thinking about a mossy gecko. That's what I'm thinking about.
The mossy frogs are bloody gorgeous. Jim says you keep them in a greenhouse outside or get one in a heartbeat. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just had a message come through. I didn't know you could keep them in outside. I thought you could keep them in like in a garage with the heater that stops it going frosty. Robbie says, I started buying a lot of tarantula literature and joined the British Tarantula Society. He said I'd spend no more money on tarantulas. Oh, Robbie, I did that. I don't know. I joined the British Tarantula Society in 2019. He didn't send me nothing through, so I've never bothered since. But I bought a couple of books a couple of years ago, and then I'm all about the Google now.
I just bought a bunch of books. It wasn't on tarantulas though. It was on herbal medicine.
And he's turning into a witch.
Explains.
What do you mean turning?
I use all your channels for information.
I think that time passed a few years back, Scott.
Scott, do you mind if I put Faceless Invert's link in the chat? Because he's absolutely amazing. He's just starting out and he could use some love.
Yeah, he's down.
Christine,
Yeah.
you don't have to ask me.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, you are one of the few people that can just put a link in and I won't even batter an eyelid.
Yeah, if y'all could please check him out. He's absolutely amazing. He really is remarkable. He's down to earth. He's got some great videos out already. So yeah.
He's just done his.
Yeah.
He's just done his beginner tarantula video.
Yes.
Really
just
good.
watched that last night. It's very good.
His stuff's amazing.
He definitely deserves to get some subscriptions because he's doing so well already.
Definitely.
Sounds like we better get him on here for an interview on Tuesday then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to have him on.
Yeah, it would.
Ian Tarantula says, I went to Donny on Sunday. It was the first time I'd ever been. It was a good day.
You guys are going to
you guys are going to make a grown baby cry, sir.
I watched his beginner video. And honestly, it was good. He has, his stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, I've got Scorpions back in the collection, you know.
Have you? What you got?
Yeah. I've got it's what used to be Peter Sai. I can't say its name.
Selenius.
Yeah, and a
Spinnifer.
And a Spinnifer.
And a Spinnifer. Has a Spinnifer changed?
No, that's still the same, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm getting a Solanus pair this week.
Hmm.
Along with some others.
Yeah, and you're getting shitloads of Scorpions this week.
13. 3.
You're getting 13 Scorpions.
6 adults for pairing. So 3 pairs. The rest of babies of another species, not Asian forest. But my hope is to breed them and then literally just sell them at like 50p a baby or something. It's one of the reasons why the Vegans has been paired, so I can take a load to BTS and just give them out for free. The Incy Gold, I paired that so I could sell them dirt cheap, and the same with the Lividum as well.
Fair enough.
Or faceless. There's only one in the UK, and I have it. It's currently on its way to a friend of mine for pairing. I can speak to him if it survives. Then we can send it on if you want. Yeah, but like I said, though, there's the one male in the UK, and the guy that I sent it to has been looking for a mature male for over a year. Scott PM'd you for JJ. Please don't say this is a dick pic.
He's opening it with caution, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's like,
No.
do I open this or not?
What's happening?
I can't find you on Facebook, JJ.
You can't find
Anyway,
me on
I'm going to go, guys. So
Me.
I'll speak to you all soon.
See you later, Lewis. Take care. Lewis.
Play it 5 seconds. Hopefully one of the pairings I did with my dragons will be successful. That would be nice.
JJ, you'll have to drop me a message. I think my phone's playing up.
Right, I will do. But I'm on my phone now for the live stream.
You're on your phone now for the live stream. Oh,
You can see it.
now the new. JJ,
What?
just say there's a storm of brewing.
No.
Oh, is that your little curly hair?
Yeah, that's my wee tea elbow.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait to feed them now. To say hello. Getting some size now, like.
Yeah. That's awesome.
First got it, as I say, it was only that size. When I first got it. And that was only about 6 weeks ago. I knew I can't get him back in his container. Hi,
Purple
good,
blur alarm.
Ah, shit.
JJ.
You fuckers
JJ,
decide to go for
you
a
wait.
wee run.
You wait till it's 12 months' time. You've got a H-Mac going up your arm or something. You'll shout more than you shit then. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm back here again. Come on. I'm just going to wait to feed them. I decided that this is why I go back in its enclosure. Come on. Yeah, we shite. Help. Here. Sophia. Sophia. I need help. Huh?
He's being attacked by a sling.
I've got a private decided it's no come back in its enclosure.
Don't let it get the better of you, JJ. It's a little sling.
So, yeah, being outwitted by an elbow.
I have a laugh at me tonight, eh? That's like a jig. It's still got back in its enclosure. Look, we're still good at all I want to do is feed them.
Okay. Okay, Leah.
Here. Here. What are you doing?
Have you seen Creatures from the North TikTok?
I don't think so.
It's the Green Goblin. She literally gets a juvenile P Metallica in her hand and then just puts it into a pot like that for packing. And it just goes straight in, closes the lid, job done.
Not me.
I was like,
It's not going back into its enclosure.
What one's that?
I have got
Elbow.
to, I hardly use it.
Do what, Andy?
So I've got TikTok, but I don't really use it. I don't post on it very often.
I post every now and again, but I just don't do. I don't get the views on there.
Yeah, I think I'm too old for TikTok. That's it.
Yeah. I
God.
just post videos. I don't do all the crazy stuff. It's.
I found with the invert stuff, it's a lot of the same.
Yeah, that's it. What I find is, and if I do a short, I just share that to TikTok.
Put the way back in its enclosure. Right, thank you.
That's what I've been doing. Unless I shoot in 4K.
Don't
When I shoot it in 4K, I can't upload it to TikTok because it won't take that file size.
Christine, as well. Don't forget to upload them to Instagram Reels.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, I never think to do
Instagram
that.
Reels, I find I can get like 1,000 views easier than on anywhere else.
No, I'm flipping now.
Yes.
Don't open that.
Yeah, I sort of stopped posting little shorts or clips on Instagram when I started doing YouTube.
Jim says I'm not going to dance around for a TikTok. No, you're right, Jim. I've done a fat bod one, but I don't do none of the dancing or any of that bullshit. I think I'll film the animals and stick them on there. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's it. Mine's just me.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Can you see what I'm doing?
But a lot of my TikToks, like different builds and the way people build stuff around the world. So anything from like foundries to bricklaying.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love all that type of stuff.
I've got this weird thing of, you know, when people doing that wood turning and resin turning and all that, and they do it on time lapse. I'll sit and watch. Oh, mate, hours will possibly sat. I'll sit in that shed and I'll do that thing and an hour's gone.
I was sit on YouTube for hours and I love watching
and then turn it.
No, they look at me in the shite.
Ben's works. It is, and he cast anything. He cast an egg in resin, and then put it up in a year later.
I was watching a lot of Alex Steele.
Oh, I don't know that one.
He's gonna be.
Yeah.
He's a young blacksmith.
Ah, right.
I watch him.
saw that,
And then a lot of watch of Totally Awesome Outdoors with TA Outdoors.
Thanks.
Oh, no.
If you see one more mini electric dam built in a jungle, I'm going to smash my modem.
The dudes that dig swimming pools out of holes in the jungle, that's another one that always sort of catches me. It's like, how the fuck did they turn that bit of land into that? Like,
it's just that's it though, isn't it? The dudes that are doing that haven't got a fridge, they haven't got a TV, they haven't got a radio.
I know.
They've done everything they need to do. Food's all around them, so they've got the time and the energy just to go, yeah. And they fill them up bucket by bucket.
And they build it with, like, they dig it out with bits of bamboo and stuff, man. It's fucking nuts. I just sit there, like, again, that's another one, like the wood pen, and I just sit there watching them. My daughter's really fascinated with them as well. It's a weird thing. We were discussing it one day and realised.
The weirdest thing I watch on YouTube, which other people would find odd, is Post 10, which is POST10. He's American. He does a bit of exploring into abandoned buildings and stuff like that, but his main thing is unblocking drains and beaver dams, which he'll go along and there'll be a ton of water and he'll unblock it, and then you get to watch all the water go. I find that so relaxing. So relaxing. You know, when Tara watched a few with me, she was like, "What are you watching?" And now she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll watch that."
Tidy.
There's a T-shirt that I wear, and it shows you a guy going into a big, massive tunnel, and it says, "It's not an adventure without spiders," and that's one of his. Everybody thinks it's a spider from one of the tarantula channels or something, but no, it's not.
What's the channel called?
Post 10.
Post 10.
So that's POST and then 10 as in the number 10.
Yeah. That's that.
What one's that? Your bed? Can I go then?
If you want.
Antscape says he was watching those last night, which I think is the ones where he's where we're just on about digging the
swimming pools.
Digging the swimming pools. Just seeing what JJ's up to.
There's my red rump. Don't know if you can see it.
Oh, see, for punishment here, JJ, could be round 2, chasing it round your arm, your back, and everything.
On the other hand,
this one's actually quite quiet. This wee one's actually quite quiet. Being honest with you, it doesn't move very far. That's my wee red rump. I'll get it right. Sorry, Telecattle Vegans. There you go. I'll get the proper name.
Do you watch, Andy, do you watch Nick Zametti?
Who, sorry?
Nick Zametti?
Nick Zametti? No, I've not seen that.
I'll put the name in chat. You have to check it out if you love that stuff. He's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, go for it. That would be cool. So, anything that's seems to be done on a time lapse, I'll sit there and watch. I watched the time lapse of a couple renovating a house, a warehouse into a house the other day. It was like a 25-minute time lapse over 2 years. I lead a really sad life at times, you know.
It's mental, isn't it? It's like 2 years' work in 20 minutes. So you watch the time lapse, but you don't take into consideration how much work has actually gone on in that place.
Yeah, well, I ended up going onto the page just to see if there was any more, and it was like it's an ongoing project. So the plan is to do, I suppose they're doing more time lapses to do another video. But yeah, it's quite cool. It was.
I like. I watch a lot of the American ones where they do time lapse of like a 5-acre bass pond.
Yeah.
So you see the hole being dug out, filled up, and then the bass going in. I love bass. I think bass are a beautiful looking fish.
Yeah.
I put it in chat, Andy. He does like the wood turning mixed with acrylic, and he does all kinds of crazy stuff with wood and acrylic. It's absolutely amazing. I can watch that stuff for hours.
I've got my tablet here with the chat on it. It's lagging a little bit, but it'll come up in a second, and I'll have a look at it.
He's very entertaining too. That's nasty, Anton.
Here, do me a favour. Come here. Oh. Right, wish me luck. This is a wee one. Oh, fuck.
Good luck.
No, you just stay on, you wee bugger.
Oh, come on. Manando Coloratovilosis, which is digging a load of soil out. So I'm hoping she's digging it out to actually lay an egg sac. I hope so.
Yeah.
She was paired nearly 9 months ago.
Wow.
Good luck with that, Scott.
And I'd love her to. I would be over the moon if she laid an egg sac.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, that would.
How long do you wait? You know, you don't just pair once. If you have both, how long do you wait to pair again after you've paired it?
Done.
Set.
Good for them.
The Pseudomonas aernia, I took the egg sac out, put it in the incubator because she left it, and then I paired her the following day.
No, I mean like after you pair before you know if it's successful. If you want to pair them again, how long do you wait?
It depends on the spider again, because if it's been 3 months since pairing and she's laid an egg sac and then you've had the babies, but you know it's something like a Tahiti cattle or something like that, then you know she's not going to molt for a long time. You're safe to go again. But I always say if you've got the male, why not?
Yeah, because I've got I've got 2 males and 2 females, and I paired both of them. And I was thinking, I don't know if either one was successful yet, but I was thinking, what if I switch and the mate and maybe try to pair them again with the opposite male?
Oh, you mean you've paired them, but you've not had the egg sac yet?
Right.
Oh, well, I chuck the male in and out. I do that for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, my Diamantinensis, I paired them every 10 to 14 days, I think it was. I marked it on the calendar. I just give him enough time to build a sperm web. There was a few times he built a sperm web and I put him in like the day after, and he wasn't having it. So I'd wait a couple of days, and then he'd be. So I sort of realised if I saw him doing a sperm web, leave it about 3 days, and then put him in. And I was doing it like it was about a fortnightly cycle, I think it was. If I'm honest, most of the pairings with that Diamantinensis happened while I was watching this stream on a Tuesday night, because I tend to do my feeding and stuff like that. Yeah, I was doing it last night when Christine's stream was on. I was watching, I was doing my feeding and that then, and I tend to get set up in the kitchen and do it all. But I remember commenting about sort of going, oh, he's got in there, like this one looks pretty good. But yeah, I think there was about 3. Awesome. Paired them 5 times overall.
Okay. All right.
On
like a 2-week cycle.
The male, I just left in with the female for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The Vegans the same. My Regalis is currently in with the female now. But I mean, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if the female eats the male, the female's eggs are going to stand more of a chance of survival, because that's what happens in the wild. So I know it's sacrificing a tarantula, but it's a male. But that's what I kind of try and aim for almost.
I got an egg sac here, look.
Because that's what happens in the wild.
Oh, what's left of it? My Balfouri ate the sac.
Oh no!
That's like that little bit there is I suppose it's the bolus of the eggs.
Oh, that's not
in the bottom. It was getting on. It had been like, I think I'd marked it up. It was 77 days on the calendar, and then I noticed that she moved away from it. I went in and she moved back, so I left it a week, and she's left it and she's fed now. So, but she molted out in February, so I'm probably going to wait now before I do pair her again, just because if I do it now, she'll probably molt before she gets a chance to lay a sac anyway.
Yeah.
Facer says, gutted dude, how long from pairing to dropping?
It was quick, if I'm honest. Hang on, I might be able to tell you.
So one of my friends did the same thing. They paired up his Balfouri female, and then thought, no, it's not going to happen. All the rest of it. They then moved house. The following day, he looked in the enclosure, and it's full of baby Balfslings.
Ah, yeah, that was it. I'll tell you what it was. I found the egg sac on Tuesday, the 17th of August, because it was watching the stream. I'd paired the Diamantinensis and found the egg sac.
I think I remember you
like 10 minutes later.
I think I remember you saying it.
And then,
About it.
so the last Balfouri pairing was the 3rd of June. So from the 3rd of June, and I found the egg sac on the 17th of August. So that was pretty quick, about 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
that's like true spider speed.
Yeah, it was really quick. I was dead surprised. But again, it hasn't worked out, so we'll just wait. We'll try again next year.
Yeah.
I've got a versicolor arriving tomorrow, a mature male versicolor, so probably try him this weekend.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
I sent a H. Dorii out. It's a bit of a madden, actually, because I got one from Creatures of the North a few years ago, and it arrived, it was a DOA. So he replaced it for me, and when it arrived, it was a DOA as well. Or so I thought. It was all in death pearl and everything, and I put it on the side, and I just left it in a little pot, and I was a bit gutted, and went on rehousing the others. And I remember it, I dropped my tongs, and as soon as I dropped my tongs, and they clattered, the spider just sparked to life. So I got it rehoused and everything, and I grew him on, and he matured a little while ago, and I sent him off to a lad. Well, I sold him to a lad because my female's got a growth, so I don't want to risk pairing it just yet. He arrived there today, and as he was loaded, the lad put him straight in. He went in, did the job, and she nailed him straight away. So he got the job done, but he wasn't literally from postman dropping him off to getting eaten was about 45 minutes.
Oh,
would you
I
stop?
wonder if the guy had fed them. Well, mind you, if females, even if you feed them up, they can still munch the male.
He said to me, when he messaged me earlier on, he was saying that he'd been conditioning her for ages because he's been looking for a male for ages. I mean, they don't come round that often, do they? The mature males in the Dorii, because a lot of the ones the spider shop get tend to be wild caught, and a lot of tend to be females because you can tell the difference quite early on, can't you?
Ian says he managed to get 2 successful Balfouri egg sacs this year.
Nice.
There's been a lot of people pair up with Bals. I'm waiting for a Minax to go mature male at the moment.
Johnny Power.
But he is literally
Johnny Power. That's who it was.
Was it?
Yeah. Just said Christine said Johnny Power there, and he's like, that's who it was that had the Dorii. I think he posted a little video of the pairing.
Yeah, I was just reading Faceless. Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just spotted that in the comments. Yeah. Yeah, who was he? 45 minutes. Lazarus, I called him because he came back from the dead, and now he won't be coming back from this one, I tell you.
No, he ain't coming back from that one.
Anton said he's fed up of seeing Balfouris. Everyone's doing big tanks with them.
Yeah, they are.
I'm splitting my community a lot.
Anton, I only got 3.
Well, I've got a communal of 3, and then my solo female, and I did have 2 communals of 9, but when I went to put them all together, there was only 5 left across both of them.
Exactly.
And
I've
now there's
only got the 2 left out of the 3 because I've only seen 2 lately.
Well, of that 5 that were left, I know one of them died because I found it. It had been cannibalized by the looks of it. So, I'm just
Tinsy Tiny. I've been growing them on from Tinsy Tiny, and they've been taking like slow progresses, and now there's about this big and fast, bolty little things.
Yeah. I don't know what it was with mine because the communal of 5 I had initially, one died and one of them matured male. That was the one I paired with that female actually. That went perfectly well. Really, do you know the one that died after it had a bad mold, but this other one, these other two just failed miserably. But luckily, I won them both in prizes, so they didn't actually cost me out of my own pocket. Not that it makes it any sort of better, but yeah, at least it didn't cost me the 200 quid to buy them 2 communals, and then only ended up with 3 or 4 of them now.
See, I bought mine, so I don't really want them to die because they belong to my boy, and they came from the one and only Dave the Obese.
I got a communal of 9, and Sandra spotted them, a pair mating in there.
Yeah, I remember you saying about it.
I don't know if it'll do any good.
Well, you just wait and see, innit? I think it's going to be hard to find the sack in a communal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Maybe
be.
wait one day, you'll have loads of little babies running around, maybe.
That's what happened to my mate. Literally, he had no idea. He thought the female weren't going to drop, and then he moved house, and then the following day, boom, shitload of babies.
Wow, that's nuts,
mental, isn't it?
Do you need a mail bell for it, Andy? Faceless is asking if you need a
well,
mail.
I've got. I don't know if it's worth doing it at the moment because, like I say, she molted in February, so I'd expect she's probably going to molt out
soon.
And either soon or any time between now and then. So she might not.
Yeah.
Might not lay the sacks to quick this time. So I think it'd probably be best if I wait, let them all out, and then I'll wait and I'll do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And then
Ian Tarantula's just said he has a few Balfour communals, and he's never witnessed any cannibalism. Getting them to breed in a communal.
Here's to that offer, Faceless. Thank you, man.
See, I can't guarantee cannibalism has happened because I didn't see the other two until I started digging around.
So the other one might still be.
Stopped digging because it bolted. You know what I mean? So I didn't continue that.
Are there hard species to keep the Balfour?
It's fairly easy. I keep mine dry with a water dish.
Same.
Very
Are they all right for beginners, or do you need to be more experienced for them?
Keep them in a very small container, or as small as you can get with the thing, I think, because that's what happened with me. The 5 that I had were in a really small container all the way through until they got big enough to go into they're in a tank like this big now. But the 9 I had were in I think I gave them too much space.
See, I think
would I be better wait until I'm a bit more experienced with the tarantulas? Are they all right for beginners?
See, I think the question isn't, it's like, what is a beginner species, really? Do you know?
I think it depends.
Everyone's got their own opinions on what a beginner species is. I mean, you see it. There's plenty of people that got into the hobby, and they had OBTs and pokies as their first teas, and they knew what they were getting into, and they've never had any issues. So I suppose it's just about the individual and how you go about it, researching, and your confidence as well. That's the main thing. If you feel confident, I think if you feel confident enough to take on something a bit more spicy, then go for it. If you've got a single doubt, then don't.
Yeah.
Right, spicy. My daughter's flipping curly hair spicy. Threat poses me all the time.
It nearly got lost in your armpit earlier on.
I've kind of been against old world.
No, that's my curly hair. But my daughter's is actually bigger. My daughter's is about that size.
Ah, right, yeah.
My daughter's curly
Sorry,
hair.
Ellie, what were you saying?
Mine,
no, it's okay.
The slings only. Right, on you go, Ellie.
Ah, there's 2 of them. Oh,
no. It's right, carry on.
There's 2 Scots.
Oh.
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 That's the.
I don't know if we can handle 2 of you, Scott.
My my Violociceps female has just wandered out of the court bark, and she's massive. And I was going to try and show you, but she just literally come out and went.
She bolted, yeah.
And then just wandered back in again.
That's what the pokies do for me all the time. I'm lucky to get video of the pokies. As soon as I go to open their enclosures, they go into their little hiding spot. But I'm going to have to hop off. I have some Scentsy stuff to get done tonight. And,
she is massive as well.
But thank you for having me. I will catch y'all all later.
Okay, take care, Christine.
Before you go,
what's that?
Bye, Christine.
when's your next live video?
Monday. Monday is my next live. We have AKAC that I'll be hosting this Sunday, but my next live will be Monday. So.
Awesome. So if you watch it, make sure you're looking at Spider-Man with those live videos. See you later, Christine.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm after a mature male Grand Kraken and a mature male Violociceps. Because both of mine have molted. I thought they were adult females before they molted. Nowhere near. Man, since them girls have molted, they have literally just... Wow, if they molt again, they're going to need like a 2-bedroom house each.
Yeah, the Velocity's massive. It's about 8-9 inches or something.
Easy.
Yeah.
Literally getting up there with the Theraposa.
I remember years ago when they first started coming to the hobby, the Singapore. It is the Singapore blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Right.
The old Lampa Palma.
Yeah. I remember that, like the videos on the internet and the pictures when they first come about, and the prices. Anybody want to rate Scott?
I've got just sitting there. It's been sitting there for the past 10 minutes. Not even moving. My hisser. One of my meals.
Do you want some more hisses?
Eh?
Does anybody want any hisses? Because I bought some and I got sent absolutely loads, way more than I need. And I fed 3 of the males off last night, some of my bigger teas, but it's going to be a long while. I know
lost one of my female hissers today.
Pardon?
My bigger one's off.
One of my female hissers died today.
I can send you some if you want, man. Do you want any, Ali?
I feed mine off, I do.
Well, I bought these. The plan was to start, get about 20 to start a colony, and then start so I could get the nymphs and everything. But the lad sent me, shitloads. There must be about 70 there, and they're pretty much all adults.
Oh, wow.
And I'm never going to be able to feed them off, so I might as well see if I can sort of pass them on to people who can either start their own little colonies or keep them as pets.
I've got wee ones there because I got given a load.
Oh, no.
I got given two males and 3 females, and I've lost one of my males a day. One of my females a day, actually. So I'm doing to 2 adults and 2 females.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to start my.
You need any, Matt? Anybody in the chat wants any, let me know. I haven't got. I can send everybody a couple of pairs, just cover the postage, and they can have them. Like,
I'll give a message on Facebook, Andy.
Yeah, I'll let you know, Andy.
Yeah, do something. I can say it'll help me out if I can get rid. I haven't got a massive load, but like I said, I can send a couple of pairs.
I love the hustle. I've got a million sitting in my ear now, as you probably see.
MH Mac available? Hell no, I don't.
Oh, see,
I've had them out for about 10 minutes.
I've got normal hissers, tiger hissers, and Halloween hissers. fucking love them.
I'd have loads of them, but my other half is
Oh.
really not into roaches. It's quite
I
upset
was
when
watching a video on YouTube today, and it's the largest insects in the world.
No, if I
And I don't care if you've seen it, but there's they've got these roaches. What is it? The giant burrowing cockroaches.
Yeah,
They're also known
it
as
is
the,
one of those.
the rhino cockroaches. They grow to about
Yeah.
3 inches long. And you've heard of them or seen them?
I've seen them online.
Leah, Unusual Pets. She's got the big burrowing ones. They're like
Is
that.
she?
They grow to about
Massive.
3 inches long.
Yeah,
Aye, I'm wanting them.
yeah.
That's what I'm wanting.
She's,
I'm right.
Like,
she breeds hers like crazy.
I'm into the cockroaches, like. Not so much the dubious, but I like the hissing and the big ones that I just seen the day on that YouTube video. I quite fancy them, like the big giant burrowing. I fancy getting a couple of pairs of them.
there's somebody on one of the groups on Facebook. I can't think who it is now, but they've been posting pictures of all the different roaches that they've got, and they've got, you know, them ones with the spots on the head, and like they change colour according to what you feed them and stuff like that.
I've seen them on Facebook.
I don't know. I don't think they're headlight roaches. They might be, but I don't. That wasn't. I don't think that was the
Mine doesn't
name
change
that you put on it.
what you feed them. My headlights
No.
and my headlights, they're the same.
Apparently they go. They've
Try
got
putting diesel in, Ellie.
like little lumps, yeah, like on their
No,
heads,
it's
like the
weird.
male hissers do.
Yeah,
But if you
animate
feed
them,
them
they're
parrots,
weird,
they
but-
go orange. Apparently,
Leah's just
I
said
see the giant
the
ones on
ones
the video
she-
on YouTube today.
the ones you're on about. They're £150 each. Hers are the Cuban, not quite as big. The
Mhm.
ones you're on about, JJ, are from Australia. Jacka Wang, that's the name. The guy on Facebook.
I've
Jacka
seen him.
Wang is the
He's
guy
got
on
quite,
Facebook that does them.
he's got quite a few different types of cockroaches. I've seen them on Facebook, and honestly, some of them are crackers. Like,
yeah.
it's
I
the
think-
ones I'd love is the
I
bigger
think my
ones.
next non-spider purchase might be Hoffman Saggy.
Might be
Oh,
what?
no,
Sorry,
it's not.
Scott.
The I can never say the second part. Hoffman Saggy, the wood lice, big wood lice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
I'm on the
What? White?
speaking to my daughter last night, and it's the what they called the cow ones. What they called?
Corsellia labius species dairy cow.
Aye, dairy cow isopods. I'm wanting. My daughter loves them. So I was looking through Spider Shop last night, and they've got a good range of isopods on. I was thinking of getting some of the dairy cows or something like that.
eBay are by far the cheapest place.
I'll check them out then.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the spiny isopods as well. Spider Shop's got them in too. The spiny one, the spiny isopods. They look quite smart.
Loads now.
I'm going to put this boy back in his cage.
Moon over Miami has a video that's got 3.1 thousand views since yesterday. Spiny. Thinking about the assassin balls.
No, talking about the thingies.
I love the spiny assassin bugs, King Garodia or Pistelia Horodia.
Are they the ones you've got in the bioactive, Scott? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw the video the other day where you added the other ones to it.
Everybody was going like nobody's ever done bioactive with them before. And even I was chatting to Dave on a live, and he was like just blown away with the fact that it works. It's like I said, where you when you breed them, you want a damp spot for them to lay their eggs in. So I was thinking, well, in the wild, when it rains, you don't get a damp spot; the whole fucking area is damp. So I'll spray it, but I keep it a lot drier than what you would a normal bioactive.
Yeah.
I
think you said that in the video, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got a cactus growing down one end, but then the succulent plants that I've got in there, I spray them directly at the base of their trunks, if you like.
Yeah.
But generally, the whole enclosure gets like a fine misting every few days. But the substrate isn't as damp as what you'd keep a normal bioactive on, but I'm enjoying it. And at night time, when the lights go off, all the adults come out. You can see the little ones. There's fucking loads. I kind of pulled it out the other day and having a look, and I was like,
Russell,
twice the amount of nymphs that I thought were in there. Oh, night, Carl, take care. I'll have to drop that vinegaroon down to you pretty soon for Corey. Nana's got bags of inverts and reptiles. Says, what do you think about the H. gigas? The Histocratius gigas is a pet hole. When they come out, you're literally faced with either a big, nice spider or one that wants to rip your face off. They seem to have, or at least mine, I've always found them to either be calm or off their heads.
Yeah, I had one that was a bit freaking dickhead, if I'm honest.
That sounds like a Grandma Stole a Popper to me, except it's not a pothole. I have two with complete opposite behaviours.
Night, Russell.
Lost my gigas. She just died for no real apparent reason. But yeah, she was a bit of a psycho. I've got two growing on slings there though.
My Giga, my original one, it would have been about 2.5 years ago. Just imagine being absolutely knackered and going, "Oh shit, I'll feed the fossorials before bed." Yeah, I didn't put the lid on properly, did I? So gone to bed, got up. Tara's noticed it, and she says, "I don't think it's in there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be in there. It never comes out." And then she shouts me downstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there it is climbing up the stairs.
Oh,
and she's a big girl. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Mine got out, and Sandra found it at the top of the curtain.
You wouldn't believe they climbed for such a big spider, would you? A big heavy one.
Yeah, they are big as well, aren't they?
Put them in a communal system. I don't believe they are communal because they live in solitary burrows. In the wild, they might have a burrow next to each other, but I couldn't see them sort of cohabitating in the same burrow.
I think, has Ian got a gigas communal?
I think Ian has, hasn't he?
No, I think he's is he still in the chat? But yeah, I'm sure he's got one that seems to be doing really well as well, if I remember from the video. But I think they're I don't think it's, if I remember rightly, they've got quite a bit of space rather than, with Balfours and the rest of them, tend to give them less space. I think his seem to be dotted around the enclosure rather than all together, if I'm not mistaken.
Do Balfours have less space when they're free roaming in the wild?
No, but apparently they don't do. They reckon there's not much evidence of them being communal in the wild as well, isn't they? So
mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ian says yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I was at communal.
I remember seeing a video because I remember watching it, thinking, "Wow, they've got a good size as well."
What, to adults or?
think like I don't know. Ian's probably best placed to mention in the chat, but they weren't slings. They weren't adults, but they certainly weren't slings. Like sort of small juvie size, if I remember.
Mark's just muted his mic again because he's doing a big fart.
Just
I just like
I'm just going to let my son in. He's just finished work and gone.
Oh, he's gone to his ladder.
Quite a few teas I want to add to my collection. I want a Theraposa Blondie. I'm wanting the Brazilian Black. Gram Solar. What's that? What's the Gram Brazilian Black?
Brazilian Black. The Grammastolia, not Pulcher Rips. That's fucking
Pulchra. It is, I think.
Pulchra, yeah.
Brazilian.
You've got that one, and then you've got the Sarzame as well. Sarzame.
There we go on.
Apparently, they two are supposed to be similar.
Yeah.
The Sizeme and the Pulcher, they're supposed to be similar. Looking nice.
Really. One's the Brazilian black, one's the Brazilian blue, but they're a different genus.
Hmm.
I would say Storm. If everybody can see Storm Vent's comment. Anyone had a tarantula that can kill prey, but then is unable to digest it and drops it after a few hours. I would say there's something going on with that spider. And
unless how big was the prey in comparison, maybe?
Yeah, lesser prey is massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian says the gigas are adults now, and they've been together since April
they are adults
2019. Wow. That's pretty cool.
I didn't realise they were adults. I knew they weren't slings. Like.
Hi, Brucey.
Hey, Brucey. Brucey's got 2 Sarzames. Amazing tarantulas. So beautiful. Yeah, I've got a very small juvie, and then I've got a large sling. I love them.
Yeah, I've got 3, and I think the biggest one's about the size of a 2p a piece.
They're almost an iridescent blue, aren't they?
Especially when they've just molted and you get the right light on them. Got a blue, my electric blue molted yesterday, and it's still only, again, it's not big, it's only a small juvie, but you can proper see the blue on the chelicerae and the fangs at the front of the leg, the front leg. Yeah, fair dues, it looks dead smart.
Yeah, nice. They are nice.
That's the one that did a runner on me, not something before. Bloody edges. Yeah.
Right. Ken, I've only been keeping the teas for about 6 months, right? What would be the best Old World for me to get?
Old World?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was going to get an Old World, what would be the best for me?
Have you got a Pyrmurnia?
Got what?
A Psalmopaeus Emernia?
I've not got any Old World yet. It's one New World I've got.
Bear with me. Psalmopaeus Emernia, the Venezuelan sun tiger, is a new world. They're arboreal, and they're exceptionally fast, and they're kind of what's known as an in-between tarantula. So going from New World to Old World, it's the one that bridges the gap. So a lot of people would advise getting something like that before going into Old World.
Yeah.
For me, my 3rd spider was an OBT, and that was it. But
Ceratogyrus, I find, tend to be, or the ones I've got, tend to be calmish in well, no, they're still
Balfouri.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier on, man. Do you know, as you're having a look, whatever you like the look of, because that's what things are based on first, isn't it? You see something that you like the look of, and then you find out how to fit. And if you think you can do it, then go for it, man.
Stormvent says the spider that's in question, Nando chromatus. I've had her try different prey. I think she's quite old now. I've had her for 7 years, and she was an adult when I got her. So youngest she's going to be, what, 10-year-old spider.
Yeah, well,
Like
Fernando Cromatis.
the Nando's as well. They're for Tarantulas Day.
And the youngest, she's going to be 10, isn't she? The oldest, probably about 15, 16.
yeah.
So, yeah, could be coming to the end of the life, mate.
Yeah, especially if he doesn't know how old she was when he arrived.
Or fingers crossed. Fingers crossed she goes into a molt, pops out, and she's completely fine again. It does sound like there's something internal bad, going on there, though. If you try different size prey, she can't eat it.
Managed to get a look at the inside and check her fangs.
What did Flawless Fangs do? Flawless, he was making up. He got Mario worms and squashed them all up to a spider that was fangless, and the spider would then go to that and eat that, and then the next molt it grew fangs. They weren't as big, but they could do the job. And then a couple of molts later, normal spider.
Yeah, it did all right, that one. He was feeding it out of a syringe. He loaded the syringes up, didn't he, and froze them. I remember Troy sent me the pictures and everything of that. We were chatting one day, and that's how he was.
Brainy little shit is Troy.
Pardon?
Brainy little shit is Troy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, Troy. Awesome bloke. He's but when I seen that, it was like, that's not, because I remember Max Tarantulas did it with a A-Gen, didn't he, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
He managed to get that through, and he was mushing things up, and I think he ended up splitting the locusts or crickets or something to make them, the insides easier for the teeth to get to.
Troy's a nice bloke until he stands there and hands you a centipede.
Yeah.
I'd say thank you very much, Troy.
I've got to say, I was terrified when he put it in my hand, but I'm all right now. I have come round to it. I don't think I'll get any more, but it's like it's like a personal challenge that I want it to grow and thrive and everything. You know what I mean?
See, I was worse than Mark. I was petrified of centipedes. My best mate's missus used to send me pictures on Facebook, and I used to literally just turn my phone off. And it weren't until I went to BTS and just thought, do you know what? I'll just buy one. And I bought a Dahani for 15 quid. And from that point on, it just changes your view, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it was as well, is that when he put it in my hand, were you there, Scott, at the time? I know Mark was there. I think it was a bit before me and you spoke. But when he put it in my hand and I seen what it was, that was the part that terrified me, because it was Dahani.
I take it was in a box.
Yeah, it's like a little 10 centimeter baby, like, I'll say 10 centimeters. It's got the attitude of something that's like 5 times the size. But yeah, it's cool. I like it now.
Ellie, I'm going to close the stream down in a minute.
I'd have just given him back.
We normally stop about 10. It's 20 to 11 now. But yeah, bit of a different one for everybody tonight.
Yeah, cheers for having me on, man.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Good with everyone.
Anytime. Ellie's got several pussies on her settee tonight.
No, 5 of them.
5 pussies on the settee.
It's knowing which one to stroke first.
Passing kitten size, they're all getting way too big.
Oh, Bug Pimp's got a Grammastolia conceptia. I can't.
The one that's white and brown is only, 8 or so weeks? And the one he's playing with is about 16 weeks, and they're almost the same size. Let's say, hello.
Oh, cancel out tonight.
Right, yeah. Let's say good night, and
everyone.
Hopefully see everybody next week.
Yeah.
Man. Thank you.
You know where I am if you need us.
See you
Certainly
all
do.
later.
Right, where's JJ? Oh, JJ went toilet, didn't he?
He went toilet. Yeah.
yeah. You're gonna have to wait for JJ to come back. Pooh dude will wonder what's done.
Here he is.
He went for a poo.
Went for a poo,
Right.
yeah.
More of a. Hey, there you.
Nah.
Night, Leah.
Right.
Night there. Night, everyone.
Right, everybody, take care.
Night, Moon.
See you all soon.
Bye. Bye. Bye.